My friends, I'm Dino Pinch. You're in my handyman zone. Today, we're gonna fix a split door frame. The door was kicked in. The people is home. The door was kicked in a domestic violence incident. And of course the divorce is following. The house is up for sale. The door frame is split from where it got kicked open. We're gonna fix that today. Easy than you think. Couple of minutes, it's gonna be done. Nice and strong. No one's ever gonna know. And in case you're asking, who is the husband hiding in the bathroom and the wife was kicking in the door? Okay, you can see, here's the strike for the lock, okay? And here's the door frame, it's split. This is just a molding separated here, but the door frame starts to split here and down to about there. The tools we're going to be using today is number one, we got a nice big C-clamp, a couple of pieces of scrap wood to protect the door frame. There's a couple of ways we could do this, but the important thing is you're going to need some glue and maybe a brush to help with the gluing. Little masking tape, I'll show you what that's for in a minute. And have some rags on hand because we're going to have to wipe up the excess glue. The two options we have, finish nail gun with the 2-inch finish nails. And the reason I'm doing that is because we want to do this in one shot. We don't want to have to come back and paint. The other option would be using a drill with a countersunk bit. And the drill would drill out for the screw so we don't split the wood, and the countersink hides the screw head just below the surface of the wood. You could come with some wood filler and fill it in. It would look very nice. Of course this would be stronger because it's screws, but the house is being sold and hopefully no one will be kicking in the door after this. We would clamp it together and we would countersink. It's 3 to 4 inch apart strategic locations. Depending on how deep the crack goes in that particular part of the wood, that's the size screws you would use. And basically glue it, clamp it, and then screw it together. We're going to be using the finish nails today. Our glue. I happen to be using like an interior, exterior glue. But you could really use any wood glue. As long as it wasn't like the Gorilla Glue that expands as it dries. That stuff's a mess. This is just regular old wood glue. And what I'm going to do is let's take our strike plate out. And maybe I take a little piece of scrap wood and just hold this open while I liberally coat the crack with glue. Any excess that squeezes out, we're going to wipe off, so be generous with your glue. Both sides. That's it for the glue, and you can wash your brush to reuse it another time with water. Any little splinters you find in the crack you may want to remove because that will just keep the wood from coming back together like nothing ever happened. So we're going to take our scrap wood out. The masking tape I told you about is to hold the scrap wood while we set the clamp up. Take our Did it on both sides with scrap wood. Gonna take our big C-clamp. Watch the crack. Watch the crack as I tighten up the clamp. With the wet rag, we're going to wipe off this excess glue that's squeezed out as we clamped it. So we're looking really good now. You can see that the crack was right here. It's almost disappeared at this point. There's our strike and the crack continues down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sneak in here with the nail gun. Move the clamp up a little and then catch the bottom. One thing to remember, this door frame wood is 3/4 thick, so we want to put all our nails right along the edge. Not in here, because we would miss the wood of the door frame. So we want to get them, or if you're using screws, you're gonna want to drill right along there and countersink them. As a byproduct of getting kicked in, some of the trim molding around the edges, and right here is a nail popped out. I'll show you that in a second. But we're gonna we're done with the clamp. You see it? That's one of the original nails that got popped out as the frame got kicked in. So we're just gonna put that into place, and we're gonna check for any more. We could call that a nail pop. That seemed to be the only. It's a hot day here. Looking pretty good at this point. I mean, not me, the job. I was looking good. Let's clean up a little bit and move to the next step, which would be touching up the nail heads, which is not a big deal because they're not really that big. They're finished nails. If we had used the screws and countersunk them, we would have to put some wood putty right now and wipe it with a damp cloth so we don't have to sand it later. We can wipe it smooth, let it dry a day, then come and paint. But we're going to take care of this all at once. We're going to put our strike back in. We've cleaned up all our tools. We're going to test the door for proper function. Then we're going to touch up these nail holes. How's the lighting in here? There's a big fluorescent up there. I'm going to have to take a look through the truck to see what kind of paint I got. I know I got some white primer. That's a little flat. This is a semi-gloss or a satin. So we might just use a little artist brush and touch up the heads, but I might have some semi-gloss. Let me go take a look. Well. All I had was some primer, which is a little bit of a flat finish. It's an oil-based primer, dries very fast. This would be the next logical step anyway, but I'm gonna use the artist brush and just touch up the nail heads in the crack so we don't have to come back and paint this whole frame, because like I said, the house is for sale. Okay, boys and girls, we're basically done. Let me get you a close-up of the crack, because you can see, pew, disappeared. Here's our strike. Let's kind of blend that in a little bit better. We just blended in the primer a little bit. But that crack went from the strike down, and it curved over to here, okay? And from the strike up, if you remember, let's kind of blend that in a little bit. If you remember, from the strike up to right there, where's the crack? So, thanks for watching. Spend a couple of moments and sub to my channel, because that really helps me out with this YouTube gig. And if I've helped you out today, fixing any kind of damage that your wife did when she was kicking in the door to kick your ass, sub to me. Just to tell you what's going on with the bill, something like this, and you know, it took like 10 minutes, but I did a little production time on the video, so maybe it looks like I spent a half an hour, because he's not really paying attention to me, because I'm a trusted, well-respected member of this community here, North Shore of Long Island. I also fixed the garage door. Was an issue with the garage door. I fixed the striker on that. So something like this, I'm here an hour, less than an hour, but I got 1 hour minimum. 125 plus maybe 10 bucks in supplies I'm gonna hit them for. So 135, fix that crack like nothing happened, so he could sell a house without having to, like, you know, take all the molding off and put up a new pre-hung door, because that's the other option. Fix this one the right way so no one knows, or you got to replace with new, because the house is going on the market. It's like this house here, 1.8 million, and it was selling a week. So, Dino Pinch, you're in my handyman zone. Thanks for your time.